Alright, what's going on, guys? We have round 4 of Season 2 here in Spain on the F1 2020 game. We are trying to stay ahead of our teammate in the point standings, and hopefully we will be looking at a really good race. We have one-shot qualifying. We are going to fix up our setup for the rain, so we have a dry qualifying session and a wet race, so we need to think about the race. If we think about qualifying, we might get pole, but we'll struggle in the race. So we're going to set up for the race, and we're going to go from there. So we're just going to quickly do what we need to do to our setup here, and hopefully we can get pole or second behind our teammate, who is Charles Leclerc here in Season 2. He came on to Train Easy Designs, which is our team. I think a little after halfway on Season 1. And through joining our team, he completely changed all of his finishes and stuff, so hopefully we can get into a really good battle with him here at Spain, but no promises on it. So we're going to start the lap. We need to be absolutely perfect this whole lap. So 8th gear, 213 miles per hour. We're diving down into the first corner. We're losing a little bit of time out of turn 2 into turn 3. So we're right about P4, P5. We are going to try and make up time through Sector 2 and Sector 3, trying to get as close as we can to Charles. We have a major lockup going into turn 5, I think. So that brings us back a little bit farther. So we're going to charge up the hill. We're going to try and send this corner. And we understeer into the gravel. And that's our lap done. Not the way that I wanted this qualifying session. Here you go. We go right into the gravel, just lose all traction, and there goes the car, completely destroyed. So we are retiring from qualifying, something that I haven't done, and we are starting at the back of the grid in a wet race. You really do not want to fight through the grid on a wet race. So qualifying did not go the way that we wanted, but we are set up for the race fairly well. So we are hoping to fight our way through and try and get into the points, which, if you don't follow Formula 1, is top 10. 10th place gets 1 point. We're going to do our strategy really quick, and there we go. So you can see we're doing a one-stop, so 2 sets of tires. But here we go. 5 lights. And we are off. We are going to try and dive down the inside of everyone. So inside of the left side, outside of the right side. We're going to try and go down the outside. Is there a gap? There is indeed a gap. So we're going to get a little bit of contact with Giovinazzi there in the racing point. As you can see, there is a battle for position in front of us. That is Carlos Sainz, Sebastian Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo, and I want to say, who's the other one up there? I want to say that was Perez in the Renault. But as you can see, they are still going at it. Just 4 of them all up in front of us. We have Sainz and Vettel here. Sainz is going to have to back out and let Vettel go through, because there's no way you're going to go double-double through these turns. So we are going to try and catch these guys as much as possible to go for a massive dive. There it is. We're going to go up Oh, we're going to slow up right before we go into the side of Norris. But this is 11th place after starting 20th on the grid, I think. I did not expect to make it up this far, but we can't get too complacent. We need to keep pushing. So we're going to try and make these as much as possible. But it's Charles Leclerc, Hamilton, Bottas, Max Verstappen, Perez in the Renault, and then a couple cars back is us. We are chasing after Norris right now. 8th gear, overtake, rich mix. We are going at him. We are going to try. We can't get there in time, though, so we have to fall in line, go through these last couple of corners, and see if we can get a passing opportunity anywhere else. Now the field has kind of started to spread out, which is going to make this a little bit harder to pass, and we're actually technically all still pretty bunched up together, so it's going to make things a little easy if we can get by Norris, but other than that, everyone is starting to kind of pull out from one another. So we're going to try and get past Norris as fast as possible, but it is very hard with dirty air in this game, especially when the car wants to understeer like my car has wanted to this whole race. We're going to look at the inside on Norris, but we're going to think better of it. We can't risk losing our front wing right now. This is only the second lap. We cannot risk this. So we're gonna just fall back in line. We're gonna try and get him on the start straight like we have been. So through the final chicane, can we get a good exit? Charles Leclerc, our teammate, sets the fastest time. It's a decent exit, but we might be able to have the straight line speed. We're going to tuck into his slipstream. He's going a little bit defensive. He's going very defensive. We're going to dive out the outside. Late braking, yes, we have a little bit of a lockup, but we're good. We are up into 10th place. 1 point. 1 point can make a championship. Now we need to focus on the Red Bull ahead of us, Alexander Albon. So this is where things get a little chaotic. We are going to try and catch him while also fighting Norris, who is 0.7 behind us. We're all kind of equally spaced out. But at the same time, we can't race behind us. We have to focus on what's in front of us. And that is Alexander Albon. We're going to try and do the move that we tried on Norris, but I don't think we're close enough. We are definitely not close enough, but we get some late break, and we are now almost pushing him through the corner. Really trying at this point to not hit the cars in front of me. They are holding me up extremely quickly. We cannot have this. We need to get past these guys. And what we're doing right now, these games of cat and mouse, Charles Leclerc goes fastest time a second lap in a row. He is on a roll. He is trying to gap the field right now, but we're going to go up Alexander's Albon. We're going to switch it up because he goes defensive. We're going to late break him into turn 1. We're going to chop his nose off, and that is us in the 9th. Now, Carlos Sainz, the McLaren driver. Can we catch him? He is only just under a second in front of us. Are we going to be able to get to him quickly? We go fastest in Sector 1, actually. Look at the purple bar up in the top. Could this be our fastest lap? And possibly the fastest lap of the race? Hopefully. Maybe, maybe not. A little screen freeze there. We are going wide in that turn. Not what you want to see. You do not want to see the person in front of you start pulling away from you like Sainz is trying to pull away from us right now. We're going to try and late break. We're going to try and get right back onto his rear end. We definitely get closer through this corner, but there's a little bit of an oversteer moment. As you can see, we are really struggling for grip for now. My setup is definitely not to where it should be, but we're making it work. We go green sector 2. Can this possibly be fastest lap? Doubtful. Negative. But Jeff, my mechanic, comes over and says we can go longer on these tires, but I don't feel that way. It feels like the traction is starting to go as Sainz makes a mistake in the corner and slows us up even more. But that allows us to close up right onto his tail. We're going to try and make a dive in this next corner, but he starts pulling out. So we need to fall back in line. We're going to focus. We're going to go for the next corner. We're going to go for a sharper exit, possibly down his inside. No, we're going to stay in line. Too risky to go down the inside at this point. So we're going to go for it, I believe, down the next straight again. Hopefully. If I can get close enough to him, that is where I will make my move. I will make my move at the end of the straightaway. No, I cannot make it. So we're going to stay around, and we're going to try and get him on the start straight finish line. Sadly, in the wet, this track is extremely one-lined. If you go a little bit left of where I just was, there was no traction out there. So basically you cannot try that, as we have a massive lockup going into that final chicane, and we are going to lose a lot of time. So we're going to fast forward to the end of this lap where we're looking at his inside. We can't quite get there, so we just fall back in line. And we have a massive oversteer moment, so we're going to lose a little bit more time. This has basically been the biggest yo-yo effect of this race right now, is between me and Sainz. I close up, and then he pulls back out. It's just how it's been. This whole last lap has basically been trying to catch him, and it is going to continue on to lap 7. Really not what I wanted, but it is what it is. You just put your head down and you keep pushing. So we're going to try and just continue doing what we're doing. We're back at the end of lap 8. We are still behind Sainz. This is not what we want, but as you can see, Vettel, Sainz, I want to say that Hamilton pitted, Verstappen and the Red Bull pitted, and that is it from the front runners. The top 5 as they run right now are Charles, Bottas, Perez, Ricardo, and myself. So we are now at the end of lap 9, and we were just starting to catch Ricardo. You can see Charles is actually in the pit now, and we are supposed to pit this lap. We are going to double stack them. Valtteri Bottas pits, Perez pits, Ricardo pits, and in comes us right behind Ricardo. So we're going to hope that we don't lose a lot of on-track time with this pit. Let's see. I want to say Hamilton is coming right now. Yep, there he is. He is going by with Verstappen behind him. So we are losing a little bit of time. Can we possibly get out in front of Vettel? Vettel is right next to us right now. We are going to charge into the first corner. We're going to try and outbrake him, and I have to give the place because he is going to cut our nose off if we tried pushing any farther. So we are now behind Vettel. Vettel undercut us, actually. It was an extremely effective undercut, I tell you that. But now we need to put the work into Vettel. As we go up the inside, we're going to be on the outside of this corner. He squeezes us extremely hard, but we find the grip. We short shift it. No, we actually go, and we get the place back. So there is Vettel behind us now in our rear view mirrors. We need to focus on catching Ricardo, who is about a second up the road. So let's see if we can do it. We are going to heavy brake into the end of Sector 2, and it is fastest Sector 2, and we are going to lose the rear end on the new fresh rubber. That is Vettel back by us after all that. There goes, I want to say that was Norris. There goes the Red Bull, and there is the second McLaren of, I believe, Sainz. No, that is Lando Norris, I'm sorry. The other McLaren was Sainz, but all that time and everything we just lost at the end of that lap. So now Albon, who we have already passed, we need to repass. He is about 3 seconds up the road. So we're going to put our head down and we are really going to charge for it. And you can see him right there at the end of the straight. We are extremely late on the brakes, and we're going to try and catch him ASAP to get by him and try and go back after the top 6. So we are on lap 11 of 17 in this race. The rain is not going to let up by the end of the race, so I cannot change to slicks and be faster. We basically now just have to really push and try and use every single aspect of the track to get better track position. We are now under 2 seconds of Albon, so we are catching him extremely quickly. I want to say I'm faster than him in all sectors at this point. He might be faster than me in Sector 3, but we go fastest in Sector 2 a second time, second lap in a row. Can we get through this corner? Charles Leclerc goes faster. I want to say this might be fastest lap. Possibly. Don't quote me on it, but this might be fastest lap if we can get the chicane clean. We get a little too much curb, we get a little oversteer. I don't think it's happening for fastest lap here. Actually, we do. We'd pull fastest lap, and that is Lance Stroll in the Racing Point out of the race. Mechanical issue. He is done. It looks like the motor blew in that thing. Hopefully he can bounce back next round, but we are focusing on Albon right now. We are still charging, still trying to get onto his rear wheels. We go fastest in Sector 1. Could this possibly be a fast lap again? So we're going to try and get some traction. We're going to try and out-traction him up the hill, get right onto his exhaust, and we are going to try and make a move at the end of this. A little bit of oversteer. We're going to try and get by him. Oh, he starts pulling out. We are too far back to make a dive up his inside. We're going to brake late. We're going to lock up, try and not go into the back of him. I think we did tap him, but I don't think it gave us any damage, so we're going to push on. At this point now, I'm pushing him around the corners, trying to make him go faster, because we are losing touch with Sainz and those guys ahead of us because he is slowing us up. We did not need to have this, but it looks like he is slow out of the final corner. We are not. We are going to get right into his slipstream. We're going to try and go up his inside. He leaves it open for us, so we're going to drag race. We're going to start trying squeezing him. We're going to give him the room, though, and we're going to late brake into turn 1. And we're going to take that place from him. So now we need to focus on Sainz, who is 2.7 seconds ahead of us. End of the lap now. We are actually right on Sainz now. So we made up really good time in that lap. Can we get by him quickly? That is the question. That McLaren has been extremely quick here in the wet. But I want to say we are quicker on the start-finish straight. This looks extremely similar to the last time we tried it. Can we make a dive? We're going to make a dive. We're going to outbrake him. Don't lock up the brakes, and we're going to get that position. Easy peasy. Now, Vettel, 1.2. Can we make this up quick? We are now on the final 4 laps. We go fastest in Sector 1 once again. Can we possibly catch Vettel and then catch Ricciardo, who is about 4 seconds up the road? You can hear we just got warned about our tire wear, but we are really pushing for this right now. We're going to try and catch 6. We need as many points as possible. We're going to slow up a little bit on the corner that bit us in qualifying. We don't want the same thing that happened in quali to happen in the race. So we get a green Sector 2. Not our fastest Sector 2, but still better than our last. So can this possibly be... Ooh, almost did another spin right there. but we are now pushing him through the corners. Can we possibly get Vettel down the straight? In the wet, that Ferrari has been extremely quick this year. In the drive, Ferrari kind of struggles, but in the wet, they are actually really quickly. We are going to try and close in. We are gaining, we are gaining, we are gaining. Can we get the dive? We're going to go for it. We give him the room. He doesn't give us the room. He turns in a little bit. We have a little bit of contact. Not enough to do anything, though. It was wheel on wheel. We're good. Now, he knows we're here. Can we get him in one of these corners? We look at his inside. We let him know we're there in his mirrors. We're trying to make him lock up. We're going to try the exact same moves. He covers it off. So we go up the inside. We're going to make that dive. We're going to get by him. We are going to short shift it to 5th gear to get as much traction out of that corner possible. So here we go. Ricardo, then us, Vettel, and Sainz. We are going to try and make up time. Sadly, we made up a little bit of time, but not enough to possibly get him here on the last lap. Sadly, not the way we wanted our race to go, but for this man, Charles Leclerc, it has gone absolutely beautifully, and he has won by a fantastic margin. I want to say he was up 16 seconds. Massive gap to second place, but he comes across the line, taking the points lead from myself, and we have a little bit of an oversteer there, but at this point we are just out of reach for Vettel. If we can get by this chicane, we are all over the place right now, but we are going to come home 7th. From DNFing and qualifying to 7th and finishing in the points. That is a good race. That was a good comeback. Sadly, not the way that we wanted it to end. But that's racing. Sometimes things don't go your way. That was a very difficult race. But congrats to Charles Leclerc, our teammate. We will be chasing him in the championship now. We have been chased this whole time as we won the first race. It was Leclerc and Hamilton that were clearly our biggest threats, and we have been being chased by those two. So here we go. Charles Leclerc and the two Mercedes. Leclerc is holding our flag, so good for him. Good on the two Mercedes guys too. They struggled in one of the wet races that we had. But yeah, that is round 4. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed racing it. It was definitely an extremely hard race because I still had a concussion at this point. It was really hard to focus near the end. But there is the points. We are now 8 points behind our teammate. There's the constructors. We are leading by around 50 points, I think. But Bottas is right on top of us right now. He is only 3 points behind us, and things are getting tight. Things are getting very tight now. But thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully I made it a good one. This is my first time editing and voicing over on a Formula 1 video. Normally I do gameplays without really talking, or I live stream, so this is a new for me, and hopefully I learn new ways of editing and everything else. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed this race. It was an extremely fun race. It was very fun. But next is the Canadian Grand Prix, and I am already editing it as this comes out. It was a very interesting race. So there's the point standings one more time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If so, thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. So, peace.